Hello there. What if you were forced to recreate history? And what if you had to make the same dumb decisions, equipment designs, and even recreate army organization? Well, that's what I'm going to do today as the UK in Hearts of Iron. I'm going to be forced to help defend France, fight in Africa, and do my best to win the Battle of Britain, all while using Britain's utterly stupid division and equipment designs. I've been really enjoying this historical design series I've been doing, and I've now done the Germans, Soviets, Italians, and even the Japanese, and I've got a lot more coming soon. Plus a few other videos in a different style. So if you want more insane historicity and a lot of frustration vented at Paradox for the lack of design presets, you should subscribe for new videos on Fridays, 5 PM British time. Here we are, Rule Britannia. We've got a lot of things, but equipment in our divisions isn't one of them. We've got old Baldy Stanley Baldwin. And looking at our focus tree, we'll of course be going completely historically, so just ignoring a lot of this. And it's going to be a very interesting game because we're not actually going to be able to fight in Europe for most of it. Other than defending France at the start and fighting in Africa, we will mostly just be in air power. And then presumably helping the Americans do D-Day, but we'll see if we give them the chance. Looking at our first division templates, the infantry division is pretty close to what it was historically. It definitely needs some arty, so we'll revisit that a little bit later when it's time to re-equip everything for the fight with Mustache Man. The tanks are far worse, however. It's just a tank brigade, and weirdly this is actually super historically accurate because this is roughly what a tank brigade was, because a tank brigade was closer to a tank regiment in actual size. So I don't know what the hell Paradox is thinking doing this, but we'll fix this later. We will be going at least some civ grid at the start of the game because I know I'm going to need a lot of dockyards and other things as well. And also, really weird thing about the British focus tree, you got the left and right path, so obviously I'm going to go the left steady as she goes, but most of the focuses are not historical, like Swedish and Norwegian intervention attacking the Benelux. These are all in case there's like an alt history event where they go and join Germany. I feel like literally over half of these I'm never gonna use. And since we're talking about focuses that will hopefully give me design templates, it's a good time to talk about what we're going to do with presets. In my last video, which you can watch by clicking the link on the screen now, I asked you guys what I should do when it comes to historical designs, whether I should just stick with just presets, allow myself to use ones granted by focuses, or if I should just go crazy and design them all myself. Well, by a pretty sizable majority, you guys have chosen for the compromise option, allowing me to use designs given by the focus tree. This means I will still be using presets, but will also use any designs that turn up in the focus tree. Funnily enough, this was actually a terrible video to introduce this in because the UK doesn't get any designs in the focus tree except for a Vanguard battleship. Also, for this video and future videos going forward, all of the research and evidence that I'll be basing my historical decisions on and division organization will be posted on Patreon and in a YouTube members post. This is to give back to those who choose to support the channel and also allows me to write a little mini essay explaining all of my decisions. So if you're interested, you can go check those out in the links below. Alright, let's look at our first presets. We are currently building the Gloucester Gladiator Interwar Fighter, which is a crappy biplane. And if we go to the proper airframe that we start with, we can actually build the Hurricane. British RAF enthusiasts will be literally crying right now. This is a good plane. Look at this. This is nice. I love it. We also have a slightly weirder Hector cast, but I'm more excited for the fighters because I'm going to need a lot of them. This is going to be an aerial game. I'm going to be doing a lot of air-to-air combat. We're also building the Light Tank Mark 6, which is basically a World War I era tank. But if we go to the presets, we can make the Vickers. However, the Vickers is exactly the same in design as the Light Tank Mark 6. This means that so far, the British presets actually work. I cannot believe it. I'm also going to be trying to build some large airframes because I think since I'm going to be doing so much air combat, I should probably get some strat bombers. That is going to be my big contribution. I'm also going to be needing to build a lot of ships, and weirdly there are no 1936 heavy ship hull designs right now. There's just none, so that's weird. But we can make one. It's the King George V, and it's a surprisingly good ship with some AA upgrades. I'm looking forward to building that when I have at least some XP. And just when I think about building his ship, he dies. Bye-bye, King George. Oh my god, the Rhineland's been remilitarized. Stop it. Yeah, that'll show him. We're also currently locked out of most of our focus tree on the left because world tension isn't high enough. so I guess we'll just go to the right side and try to get some stability. Alright, that's one more Monarch kicked out, but more importantly, we've got the large airframes. Let's see what the presets are. Oh, okay, it's the Halifax bomber. I was kind of hoping for the Lancaster, but I guess that's the next airframe up. That's fine, this is pretty historical, I like it. Not sure I like the drawing for the Maritime Air Patrol plane. What the hell is that? The medium airframe designs are even more interesting. The Blenheim is a fighter. Plane nerds will know that the Blenheim is the rather famous medium bomber used by Britain during World War II. But it actually did start out its history as a heavy fighter. It was just found to be too crappy, so they took the guns off of it and put some bombs on instead. And for medium bombers, we have the Wellington, the best named plane ever. Also, we're actually already building the Bristol Blenheim, and it's a bomber. But the preset for the airframe is actually the original Blenheim, which is a fighter. I don't know. This is kind of weird. I'm going to send a quick attaché to Republican Spain because I can't send volunteers, and I really want the war support to be able to get up to partial mobilization, which I will do right now. All right, bye-bye, Stanley Baldwin. Hello, Chamberlain. Much better mustache. Also, I've been looking at some more ships. The Town Cruiser right here is pretty good. It's got a lot of different designs. It's very multi-purpose. But if you actually go to the cruiser itself and try to build it from a preset, it's much worse. It's very bad. So I'm just going to keep building the one that the game gives you at the start because my commenters said I could. Okay, there are actually a ton of cool presets in the British Navy. Look at all the different destroyer types. It's even got the C-Class for this chassis, which is a bit weird because the C-Class wasn't launched until 1943. Doesn't matter. This is very cool for any British history nerds. Yes, join me, France. Join me. We also finally have the improved light tank chassis. So let's see what the presets give us. It is the Matilda tank. Oh, this is pretty good. It's got a big gun on it. This is kind of weird because the Matilda was not really a light tank. It was classified as an infantry support tank because British tank doctrine was not like light and medium tanks. They were like cruiser or infantry support tanks. So I guess Paradox decided that Matilda had to have been the light tank just because it was the slightly smaller of the tanks. But whatever, this is strong. Let's see what Paradox thinks the British medium tanks were. It's the Crusader tank. What? It even has the exact same gun as what's in the Matilda. This is really weird because the whole point of the Crusader tank, which was a cruiser tank, was it was supposed to be fast. Shouldn't this be the light tank and the Matilda be the medium? This doesn't really make any sense. Oh god, I've just realized that it has 62% reliability. What the hell? This thing's gonna fall apart when the Germans look at it. Doesn't even have radios, which is actually historical. For some reason, British tanks only had radios in the command tank. The rest of them just had to, I guess, shout and use flags. Oh, and also I finished the basic heavy tank chassis just because I wanted to see what it was. And it's just Vickers. It was a stupid experimental tank design with a bunch of extra turrets on it. Is dumb. Alright, it's now 1939, so I can now finally change up my division templates, and I'm going to show you the most frustrating thing I've had to do so far in this historical series. I found a really good source for the infantry division of 1940 for Britain, which is really the only time that any information is important because Britain didn't do any fighting until then. Look up the Phony War for more information. But I was having a lot of trouble trying to figure out exactly how much artillery was in the divisions. I knew that there was divisional artillery and that there were 2 regiments of 25-pounders with some mixed artillery as well, but I couldn't figure out how many guns that was. I ended up having to count the number of tractors in each regiment because 3 tractors equal 2 pieces of artillery. 2 tractors to carry 2 pieces of artillery and 1 extra tractor for the purpose of carrying ammunition and spare parts. This is very comical, hahaha, silly Aldra. But looking at this now, as I'm editing this, I can see at the very bottom exactly how many guns there are in each regiment. I have no recollection of this. Did this get added since I first researched this? Or, the more likely option, I just didn't see the glaring, big writing 2x gun 25-pounder right there. Put in the comments which of those 2 options you think is more likely. So anyway, here is what I think the infantry division should be. A 9-2 with 2 artillery regiments, and to help make up the missing artillery numbers, a support artillery as well. The divisional artillery in my research does show anti-tank guns, but a lot of the anti-tank equipment was actually anti-tank rifles, which had limited effectiveness, so I'm going to say that that makes them anti-tank support companies. We've also got a little bit of a cavalryco and field hospitals, and that's it. It's pretty good. I think this is a strong division. Might as well finally fix the tank division as well. All my research into the early war tank divisions, it's a little weird. It was about 50% infantry support tanks and 50% cruiser tanks, which means I have to have equal amounts light and medium tanks. And there were about 3 battalions of each, as well as 2 motorized infantry battalions. So it looks like this. There was also a mixed support battalion, which alongside a little bit more infantry and cavalry was things like support artillery, a bit of anti-tank and maintenance and stuff, as well as anti-air. So I'm going to say that those form the support companies, and this is basically the tank division that we have to work with. It does get a little bit better as the game goes on. We do start to add some slightly better tanks, and we also begin to add mechanized, and I think a bit of SPGs as well later, but we'll come back to that a little bit later. Stick around and find out. Also need to think about organizing our navy, because we have to have fleets in 3 different theaters: the home defense, the Mediterranean, and also in Asia. Let's just chuck everybody into one giant fleet. Oh, that's a lot of ships. And organize them. Okay, that took ages, but I've done it. I've got 3 fleets, each with 3 main strike force fleets with all the carriers and battleships and battle cruisers divided between them, with some cruisers and destroyers as screens, and the remaining destroyers make up the convoy, escort, and patrol for each of the fleets. I think this is pretty good. It felt like 10 years to organize all this, but this should work. Let me know in the comments if it isn't a good organization, but it's fine, right? Please? I don't want to do it again. And also, something weird, I researched amphibious tank, though I almost never do that, and it was the Valentine DD, which would be great, except there's no preset, and there's no equipment, so, okay, it's fine, I just won't use it. Also, I'm going to remember to guarantee the independence of Poland. No idea why this doesn't come through a focus, but hey, whatever, let's go. Alright, there it is. I've got near enough a full army on the Belgian border with some tanks as a reserve in the event that things go poorly. And I also have about 1,000 planes ready to help in northern France. I've also got some boys getting ready in Cairo to defend El Alamein. They're not quite ready yet. They need to train up a bit, so I think I'm just going to wait for the Italians to push up and then counter-push them and have my own little battle of El Alamein. Plus boys ready to take Ethiopia. Alright, let's go. We're going to send a few hundred planes to go help out in Poland. My goal is just to whittle down the German Air Force. That's my contribution here. Oh my god, maybe not, never mind. Oh, we're losing so many planes. And they've just put 1,000 planes in Western Poland. I think it's time for me to dip. At least we're winning our first naval battle against Italy. That's something. We can grab war economy and then keep slapping Italian destroyers. And hell, why not also try and bomb northwest Germany with my strat bombers, the few that I have. Oh, never mind, they've immediately put fighters there and I've lost a plane already. Back home we go. And there's Poland dead. Oh, wow, great job. 1 division escaped. You're going to have a huge impact. Thanks, Poland. Oh, there goes pretty much a good portion of the Italian Navy in the Battle of Nicosia. I'm happy with this. Oh, here come the German planes into northern France. Now they're attacking Belgium and the Netherlands. It's almost time. Historically, this didn't happen until, like, spring of 1940, but Germany doesn't care. They just Russian. Also, I still haven't said anything to China. I need to be helping them out, at least with something. I've got the Burma Road. Come on, I can give them some guns, some support equipment, and arty. It's the least I can do, considering they have to fight Japan on their own for another 2 years. Alright, I've got a genius plan. I'm going to send all my TAC bombers and fighters into the Benelux region with the goal of just blowing up supply hubs and railway. So when the Germans bring forces down to the French border, they're not going to have any supply. Right, we're in a bit of a holding pattern now. We've got the French border secured. El Alamein is held. We're sniping some Italian fleets. Only trouble is, Norway is a thing. I keep forgetting that Norway doesn't get invaded by Germany anymore. It's like a civil war instead. So I have to send boys there right now, and I have no troops nearby except for the ones on the French-Belgian border. Sorry guys, I've got to send part of the BEF away. Please don't die. Too quick. Oh no, the German fleet have come back. Yes! Oh, we've done it. We've sunk them. Get wrecked on it. We destroyed the pride of the fleet and a whole bunch of other ships. Okay, that's the German Navy taken care of. Oh, the pushes on the line have begun and France is doing absolutely nothing. Good thing I decided to help out on the northern border. Oh, okay, that's pretty bad. We already need to pull back from Sedan. Come on, France, help out! Historically, the British moved up to the Dial River in the interior of Belgium, but I just didn't get the chance to do it because Germany crushed Belgium so quickly. So I'm not going to get regular Dunkirk, but it looks like I'm still probably going to get pushed out of France pretty soon. Also, I've been sitting on 0 manpower for ages because I just didn't have the PP to move up to extensive conscription, but finally, we do. It's going to take a little while to catch up, but it's fine. Everything's going to be okay, right? Right? Oh, we've got a bit of a breakthrough west of Sedan. I'm going to move my reserve tanks to see if I can hit them in the west. Maybe we can make something work here? No way we can manage this. Our tanks are resistant to their attacks. We are armored, but there's just so many divisions. And they've got a lot of planes. They're wrecking me. Oh god. We have no bananas! Yep. This is pretty historical. The Germans have just crushed into the French line, leaving my troops in the north while the French fall back. Paris is threatened. Also, it is now 1940, so I can make a small change to my tanks. I can add one more motorized infantry because the tank divisions were sort of retooled and a bit more infantry was added to the mixed support group. So it makes sense that I can actually add some. All right, we've completely fallen back now. I'm holding the river and holding Paris, but I think this is it. I've been holding for a little while, but I do not want to lose too many divisions here. Time for a controlled retreat. The Paris guys are just going to have to hold as long as possible. Come on, boys. Get home. Blighty awaits you. All right, there goes France. But wow, they had no equipment whatsoever. What the hell? All right, we've managed to evacuate most of our army. We lost a couple tanks and some infantry. That's not too bad, falling in the outskirts of Paris. We gave it a good shot. All right, boys are home. It's time to just start the Battle of Britain and send a lot more infantry to try and help out in Norway. There are now a lot of bombers hitting me in Britain. Oh, cool. We can do Operation Catapult and sink the Vichy fleet. I love that. That historicity is so good. Also, I haven't really been looking in Africa very much. I was too focused on Europe, but I just put them on battle plan and they've been crushing them. We've managed to pretty much entirely encircle the Italian forces in Ethiopia. We can then move those troops north and start a proper North African push to kick out the Italians. Oh yeah, wow, okay, never mind. My boys there can do it on their own. The Italians are on the run. I've got some motorized divisions that are just encircling and snaking. Oh yeah, look at that. There goes the North Africa Corps. Bye-bye. It's just like when I played Italy. We finally got the 1940 improved large airframes. Let's see what it is. It should just be the Lancaster. And hey, it is. Oh my god. That is a fantastic plane. Holy crap, look at all those extra bits and the turrets. I'm gonna build so many of these. I'm gonna do terrible things to Germany. Thanks to nicking the fleets of Free France and all the other small democratic European powers, we basically have complete naval dominance in the Mediterranean now. And even though the Italians are sending a lot of troops over to North Africa, we're just rolling them thanks to air and naval dominance. One really weird thing, though, is that the Germans have sent the entirety of the Luftwaffe into the English Channel, so the entirety of the RAF is there meeting them. I've got radar, so that really helps, and I am shooting down a lot of German planes. Since it's an aerial war, let's build the 1940 fighter. Come on, Spitfire. Oh, baby, there's 3 of them. There are 3 different Spitfires. The basic one just has machine guns, but as they go up, they start adding more and more cannons. Oh, that's so cool. This basically represents the later changes to the Spitfire later in the war. They added more cannons to help beat some more heavily armored German planes, but I don't really need them. I'm just going to build the basic Spitfire. Feels like a cheat to build the late war builds in 1940. Also, it looks like Italy has completely pulled out of North Africa. That's it, we win. I'm just going to take over the rest of it. Whoa, check out this weird event. An Indian prince wants to send us planes, so we get planes, but we also get the Supermarine Spitfire, so we get a new template. This is interesting. This is different than all of the other 3 Spitfire presets, but it does have cannons. I've lost the air defense modules, but it means I have more range and I have more air attack. I'm just going to build these because we are allowed to use presets that have been given to us through historical focuses or events, so I say yes. Oh no, the boys that I was sending over to invade into Sicily, I need to move them over to Greece instead. I totally forgot about the invasion of Greece. I gotta help them out. And Yugoslavia has also joined, so they are not long for this world. Oh yeah, screw Yugoslavia. We've done it. We have invaded Sicily and pushed out the Italian defenders. However, don't hate me, but I'm not going to keep it. I'm going to pull out. I just want to scorch earth and do some damage to Italy. The reason being is I am scared that this could cause the Italian collapse, and it also might mean that Germany does not invade the Soviet Union in Barbarossa. So I'm just going to leave Sicily just in case. It was fun though. It was a good holiday. Ooh, okay, looks like the Germans have given up bombing me in the English Channel and they've moved to Yugoslavia. There's thousands of planes there. So I think now's a good time to think about bombing like northern France and the Benelux and just disrupting things for Germany. I can even get some strat bombers over to Berlin, so let's go. Yugo has capitulated incredibly quickly, so we're just going to hold a reserve line as well. And, oh, okay. Australia has invaded Sardinia on their own. I really hope this doesn't mess up the Barbarossa thing, but hey, thanks, I guess. Also, it is now 1941, and I have just finished researching Marines. Now, you might be thinking, why didn't I build Marines earlier? And the reason is because Marines are weird, and they don't really work historically in Hearts of Iron. Excepting the US, most countries in World War II only used Marines as a sort of like specialized ad hoc task force. At most, they were like a couple battalions, and that just doesn't work in HOI with this divisional setup. The 1940 British Marines was basically just a couple battalions of some guys better trained to attack from boats, and it wasn't until 1941 that they actually added artillery as dedicated parts of the Marine force, so that's why I waited until 1941. Also, the only way to make the division work is to extrapolate out from the sort of battalion-sized groups to a division, so this is what I'm going to say that the Marines looks like. 21 width, it's fine. Let me know in the comments if you think this is disgusting, but I think this is really the only way to make Marines work as close to historically accurate as possible. I'm also doing very tactical strat bombing runs. Everywhere that the Germans send fighters to counter me, I move them away and put them somewhere else. Oh wow, they are seriously so committed. They have lost 1,000 fighters over the English Channel and are still contesting me. Please, Luftwaffe, go away. Also, I've just realized I'm so stupid. I was sending guns to China, but it didn't work. They just weren't receiving them, and it's because they have no convoys. They've lost the ports. I'm so stupid. All right, it's been a few months, and the Germans have now lost 1,800 planes in the English Channel, and they're finally done. They've given up. This is a pretty big contribution to the conflict. I feel like they're going to just lose Barbarossa because they can't contest the Soviet Air Force. It has meant they could focus on Norway, though, because I am actually losing it. I'm doing my best, but we're just getting pushed out. Oh, here's a good sign. The entirety of the Italian army is on the Greek border on my little reserve line. That's bad, but there's no Germans here. I think Barbarossa is coming soon. Oh, and also here comes Japan. They're going to be coming for me in a little while as well. I'm a couple focuses down, but Philippines first. Also, I finally have the research necessary to show you guys the improved medium tank, the Cromwell. I've had the initial chassis tech for a while, but I didn't have the guns because, weirdly, it required the tech from 1941 anti-tank because it's a much heavier gun. So I just wasn't able to build it until now. But oh, okay, scrap that about being a good tank. I just noticed, look at the reliability, 55%. What even is this? What's wrong with it? Screw falling apart when the Germans look at it. It's gonna land in France in pieces. At least the Luftwaffe is basically dead now. I think they are probably moving over to the Eastern Front, what little remains. So let's go back to bombing Europe. Oh, come on, I was so right. Look at that. Barbarossa, a bit late, but I knew it was happening soon. Let's do the nice thing and just support the Soviet Union as best we can. Tons of rifles and artillery, just anything we can give them. Let's go. We've got a lot of equipment. Also, Japan's going to be here soon, so I can't neglect the Navy. Let's see what the 1940 destroyer is like. Oh, I actually get a preset. Fantastic. What is it? Oh, damn, that's pretty good. It's really expensive, but it's a jack of all trades. Just loads of anti-air, light attack, and anti-sub. This is just like a build 1,000 of these if you can afford it and put them everywhere kind of thing. And just in time, because here comes Japan Bros. And here comes the US. Yes. Interestingly, they haven't demanded Vichy France or brought Siam into the conflict, so the boys that I had ready to invade are just sort of sitting there attritioning in the jungle. It's kind of sad. This is the situation in Europe. We're just sending tons of equipment to the Soviet Union and to China as well, while we are also bombing as much of Germany and northern France as we can. This is what we're going to do, probably for the next couple of years, just absolutely devastate the German economy. I'm also desperately trying to build a better heavy fighter so that they can actually reach into Germany to escort the strat bombers, but it will not let me build a Boo fighter. It says I don't have the engines, but I absolutely do have the tech. It's just refusing. So I don't understand. Please. Oh, also I forgot. I can send an attaché to Soviet Union. Let's see how they're actually doing. Oh my god, this is good. There's a lot of Soviet troops here and not many Germans per tile. Are they already failing? Japanese Navy's come out to play. They are slapping some of my crappier destroyers in my patrol fleets, which is not so great. Oh, never mind. Immediate vengeance. Look at that. We just destroyed all the destroyers. Brilliant. Also, it's happened. I've just taken a look at the air map mode in the east. The Soviets have aerial advantage over the Germans. That is thanks to me. Thank you very much, because I destroyed like 2,000 German fighters. You're welcome, Stalin. Oh, there we go. Bye-bye, Japanese Navy. Yamamoto BTFO'd. Absolutely no ships left. Also, I completely forgot about these cool Exile Forces actions. I can spend PP and actually increase resistance in occupied states in Europe, like helping out in Poland and in France, and it only cost me some infantry equipment. This is really cool. I'm literally just like causing trouble in Europe. I'm like a sneaky little fellow. It's brilliant. Alright, finally Japan has actually moved into Indochina, so I can at least start to push there and do something in the Pacific, because they haven't invaded me yet, so I'd like to help. Also, it's 1942. I can now add 1 mechanized infantry to my tank divisions because they were beginning to roll out more mechanization around this point. And I think this is pretty accurate. And more accuracy, let's send 20,000 rifles to the Soviet Union. I got you, baby. I'll keep you alive. Screw it. Have 1,500 Crusader tanks as well. Let's go. Look at these boys on the Greek line, by the way. They're just sitting there holding off hundreds of thousands of Italians. This may not seem that important, but this is keeping the Italians here and not on the Soviet front, making it so much easier for Russia to push in. Oh yeah, Finland is actually pieced out as well. That's going to be so many troops pouring onto the German line. I think, I'm certain of it. The Soviets are fully pushing the Germans back. It's only 1942. I think we can recommit back to Italy now. Let's invade Sicily and try to push up through Italy now. We don't have to worry about anything. Let's just do it. Oh, look at this. This is really weird. China has actually invaded Indochina, meaning I can't push any further into Vietnam. But interestingly, this means we now do actually have a land connection with China, so we can more easily send them stuff. Yes! We also have the advanced light tank chassis, and it's the Valentine preset. I should probably have been making a lot more of these because this was used throughout the war. But, what is Paradox's problem? Look at the reliability. The last tank I designed had like 50% reliability. This has over 120. What the hell is going on? Alright, well at least Siam has joined, so I can finally push in that way. And the Italian invasion's going well. They have stopped us in Sicily, but we can just do another invasion and try and take Rome. Oh, didn't expect this. We've landed in Italy. I mean, I did do the invasions, but there's just no one here. I've taken ports and I'm taking Rome. Look at the absolute state of Italy. I am just rolling in. I'm moving some tanks and infantry in, and there's just not any opposition. I'm going to be able to divide Italy's forces in the south and the north. This is great. Oh my god, the Germans have lost over 4 million men, and I did over 1 million of it. That's brilliant. They've still got loads to go, but hey, they're suffering. And Italy is now completely out of manpower. Dude, come on. I mean, they are losing half of their country, I guess that makes sense. And there it is. Benito Mussolini has been deposed. Get out of here. And the Soviets are doing actual encirclements. This is great. I feel like I'm helping out, even though I'm not actively fighting in Europe just yet, except for the bit in Italy. I'm contributing. Oh, here come the Americans to steal my thunder. They've begun landing to help support the line, and I have pushed up pretty north into Italy. We just gotta think about trying to take Milan. Oh yeah, the south is now my puppet, so we definitely have to take Milan, otherwise Italy just won't capitulate. Also, final piece of historicity for tank nerds, the Churchill heavy tank. This is not bad. It's got crap reliability, but it's strong. Fun fact, this was named Churchill clearly in deference to Winston Churchill, but was supposedly actually named after John Churchill, the first Duke of Marlborough, but come on, it was clearly named after the PM. Oh wow. Also, I hadn't even realized, but Norway has been liberated. I was battle planning it, but I think it was mostly Americans and the actual Norwegians. I guess the Germans had to pull out as well. So, hell yeah, we did it. We saved Norway. Yeah, it was me, totally. You know what? Germany's suffering so bad. I wonder if we can just open up the front by doing D-Day now. I'll start preparing it. It is October. I should probably wait until spring, but... Oh no. I completely forgot about Vichy joining the Axis. They've got Syria. Oh no, the Sinai. No, the Suez Canal. I've got no troops there. Go, go, go. I'm sorry, Greece. Screw you. I have to help out in like Egypt and whatever. Also, I actually haven't made any paratroopers in this entire series, so I'm finally making the British paratroopers. There really isn't that much data out there for what constitutes a paratroop division before 1944, but to my best approximation, this is what the paratroop division would look like. It's a very simple one. Lots of lovely support stuff, and I know it did indeed have a bit of glidered-in light tanks, so we'll put them for the recon. And we will, of course, name this after our newest YouTube member, Otaku. A very fitting name. Oh my god, I'm so stupid. I'm so sorry, Otaku. I haven't built transport planes. I forgot. I've got all these paratroopers, and there's no planes for them to get into. Oh wow, the Soviets are doing really well. There's a huge breakthrough in the east. And oh, they're also attacking Iran. That's supposed to be like a joint thing. We're supposed to team up together. I haven't even got the focuses ready yet. No. All right, I'm honestly getting concerned. I think we need to start the invasion into France right now. The weather isn't ideal. This is the wrong time of year. But frankly, if I wait too long, the Soviets may actually cap Germany. All right, the Marines are moving in, but they are throwing me right off the port in Le Havre. I'm doing my best here, but it's just not happening. Let's send some more infantry divisions into Cherbourg, and maybe that'll work? Yes, Germany's too stupid. They pulled off all of the D-Day defenses into the harbor, so they left nothing in Cherbourg. We have landed. Let's go, boys. Pile in. Liberation is here. Oh yeah, look at this. We are just piling in. There are no good troops here. There's no Italians to help, and the Germans are all too busy trying to defend on the Eastern Front, so this is all just reserve troops. We are crushing them. I'm pushing as hard as I can. I'm taking back Paris. The Americans are even starting to arrive, but the Soviets are getting so close. I don't want them to take so much. Also, I need another front because I'm starting to slow down, so let's add a little bit more historicity with an Operation Market Garden. I still don't have the transport planes for paratroopers, so I can't do like the Red Devils, but I can do a marine invasion into the Netherlands to liberate them. Okay, what the hell? Have you ever seen a better example of Hearts of Iron player bias? The Germans have completely pulled off of the Soviet front, leaving their capital basically wide open and moved all to my front to hold me back. That is crap. Well, at least I get a little reverse Dunkirk onto Germany and get to encircle a bunch of their divisions trapped in France. That's something. Yeah, look at this though. Fall of Berlin, March 1943, fully 2 years early. I'm not even close to Berlin. I've got a ginormous pile of tanks up in Netherlands. I'm just going to try and push into Germany and take a bunch of points to get a little bit more occupation score. Also, look at the German divisions standing around. They've all got winter coats on because they're fresh from the Soviet front. Oh, we've got the Yalta Conference where we divvy up Europe. I don't wanna, but I'm playing historical. I'll say yes, I guess. Alright, we've just been pouring into Germany, doing our best to hit everybody, and I really wish I'd done a collab government. This is taking ages. Look how little of Germany is left, but they will not give up. Okay, there it is. I just had to take a few more VPs. Look how little equipment they actually had left. Damn. I've also just beaten back Italy. I still have Bulgaria to defeat, but that's going to be very easy because the Soviets are hitting them in the north. I'll just move in. But don't forget, we still have Japan, and we're not going to ignore them this time. We're going to finish them off. But first, the Axis powers are gone. There it is. A very long peace deal, but this is what we were left with. We had control all of Western Germany in a British puppet. We've got British Italy, a British Bulgaria, Albania. We've expanded our colonial holdings in Africa like crazy. This is very nice. We did forget Denmark, though. I completely forgot about Denmark, so they are still fascists. Whoops. Oh, what? The fascist Denmark wants the Faroe Islands back? Hell no, they're mine. Get out of here. We will now finish off Japan. The Navy's basically dead, and the US isn't doing anything, so let's summon some Marines and invade the southern portions. Oh yeah, there's no one here. Okay, yeah, let's just send some tanks. I've had these boys ready for quite a while now, just getting ready to invade Japan, and yeah, we're just rolling up. And there it is. Bye-bye, Japan. Let's see what we can get. We got Iran, which is very nice. We gobbled up a bit of, like, Cambodia and Laos. And we have puppeted all of Japan itself, giving us a massively powerful puppet in the east. China did, of course, retake, you know, everything else, but hey. I also completely forgot about South Sakhalin, so there is actually an independent democratic Japan in the north, but hey, whatever. It's the tale of two Japans. But there it is, that's it, we did it. We have defeated the Axis powers using only historical British designs and presets. That was a lot of fun. It was a totally different way of playing the game. I felt a bit like America sending endless lend-lease to the Soviet Union, but the main thing was just being a really powerful aerial and naval power. I was sinking dozens of ships and shooting down literally thousands of planes, and I think that's the reason why the Soviets won on the Eastern Front. That and the 20,000 guns I sent them. Do let me know in the comments down below any suggestions you have for other interesting countries that would be good to play really ultra historically. I've got a lot more videos coming through in the new year, including a couple that are in a bit of a different style, and one that's a big project I've been working on for absolutely ages that I'm really excited about. So I'd love it if you subscribed and hit that bell icon so you always were made aware of whenever I put out a new video. And if you wish to support me, there are channel memberships and Patreon links down below. Other than that, thank you so very much for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye-bye.